Hi and welcome back to Tales Against Humanity, / I don't work here lady. In today's episode, Karen's thinks I work in the store. It's difficult to say you don't work there when you are clearly working there. Do you know the price of these petunias? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Karen's thinks I work in the store. Hello everyone. I have a lot of I don't work here moments. I always dress in formals, a plain light colored shirt, and a black trouser pant with plain black shoes. This gives everyone the idea I work there anywhere I go. For example, like when I am walking in any restaurant, dhaba, etc. I will be asked to take their order. Sometimes rudely, sometimes normally. Usually I just explain them I don't work here, and they realize the mistake and apologizes and story ends. I hope you get the image. The cast is me, Calm Kid, CK, EK1 and EK2. This story happened few years ago when I used to work in a hospital. We usually had a rotational shifts, a week of night shift and a week of day shift. It was a day shift week, and after my shifted I was going back to home and was hungry a bit. I was passing through a mall as it had McDonald's. I was craving for something to eat. I decided to go in the McDonald's. I went in the mall and decided to go through the Big Bazaar, a large supermarket chain in India. I was just walking through it as it was easy to reach McDonald's as it was summer. So I was slowly walking through the snacks corner, and saw some snacks fallen on ground and no employee there. So I picked them up and placed it as nicely as possible. An old lady came in there and wanted to take a snack which she wasn't able to get as she was short. Being 5 feet 8 inches, I was able to reach and hand her the snack. She took it and left. I didn't mind, and I tried to get a pack of biscuit for my family as it was brother's favorite one. I grabbed it, and as I was about to walk away, I was approached by a little girl, CK, about 10 years old I guess, and wanted the same biscuits as the old lady wanted. She pointed towards the specific flavor. I grabbed it, and as I was about hand her, a lady took it from my hand and placed it in her cart. She was her mother, EK1. She gave me a look and proceeds to move further down in the section. I was confused about this but decided to just ignore and was turning towards the exit. I heard a loud voice, "Where is XXX biscuit?" It was EK2. I said, "I don't know, just check the section, it must be there." She started giving me an angry look. EK2 in anger started shouting on me, "I just want this XXX biscuit, and it is my job to help them find it, or they will file a complaint about me." Now it clicked my mind I was being mistaken as an employee, and I explained them, "Ma'am, I don't work here." EK1 joined with EK2 and claimed they saw me working when I was arranging the snacks on floor and helping old lady and CK to get the snack. I explained them I did it because of my kindness. They were just not buying it. I forgot to mention my ID card was still in my neck and its band color was totally similar to the employees. They pointed at it and called me a bad employee again. I showed them my ID and said, "It is not what you think. I work at this hospital, not here." I can see they are totally surprised and embarrassed to say anything. They started to move away, but made a comment in Marathi, "This peoples are good for nothing in life and should move back to their state." Now in India has 28 states and 8 union territories. So we have many languages and cultures. I am a Maharashtrian and speak Marathi. I am mostly mistaken as a South Indian, south part of India, and has Tamil, Telugu, etc., as my body, facial feature and personality everything resembles a South Indian. But I can say they never expected my reply. I replied back in Marathi, "Oh, what an irony. Even if people don't work there they will help you if asked politely, but not an idiotic person like you." This shocked them totally and they literally bolted away without making eye contact. In this story CF was very quiet and I feel bad for her. Poor kid. So after this I went on my way, took the biscuits pack and paid for it. I ordered my meal in McDonald's and enjoy it. I was sitting facing right in front of the only empty table. The EK1 and EK2 arrived there again and was forced to take the table. I was sitting and enjoying my meal looking at them, and not even once they tried to make eye contact with me and enjoyed it and eventually left after completing my meal. That day was my best "I don't work here" moment. Well, if you have read the full story, thank you very much for your time. Stay home and stay safe, everyone. Thank you. It's difficult to say you don't work there when you are clearly working there. This incident took place about 10 years ago or so at my favorite pub next to my college alma mater. I had been going there about 3 years at the time, and had gotten along extremely well with the staff. I'd stop almost every day after work to wind down. I work in the steel industry 4 minutes away. This takes place on a Saturday, and unknown to me at first, the same exact day a huge tailgating extravaganza is going on near the stadium for a huge rivalry game that is to take place in the afternoon. I had just gotten off work and wandered in and found my favorite spot at the bar, and as I sat, I started seeing more and more folks filter in. Older people, younger people, kids with parents, and of course college kids. I'm around 38 at the time. Most of the older people and families stayed away from the bar to order food before the big game at the tables. Their pizza was killer. Most of the college kids started to gather around the bar. And gather. And gather. And gather. Within 30 minutes the bar portion itself packed 3 to 4 people deep, all getting drinks and shots and whatever else they need. It is a madhouse, so with only one bartender, Missy, yeah that's her name, and I think one bar back, RD, they are getting overwhelmed. Actual photo of one end of the bar, looking to the other end, the dude in the red shirt is sitting where my favorite spot used to be. Sadly, that location is now closed, so I'll let the name stay in the photo. Then it happens. A full fresh beer and shot are shoved down in front of me by Missy, and she says Mr. _Majorly. Dishes. Now, before she goes back to serving the mob of college football fanatics. I glance down to where the glasses are normally, and it's empty nearly 100%. I guzzle some of the beer, slam down the shot, roll up my sleeves, and walk behind the bar to where the sinks are, in that photo, just to the right. I'm pounding out these dishes through 3 different sinks. Suds and water are flying everywhere. And of course, that's when it starts. DFF is drunk football fan. DFF1, can I get a beer and shot? Me, sorry, don't work here, as the water splashes in my face. DFF2, can I get some wings and a beer? Me, talk to Missy, I don't work here. As I'm stacking clean glasses. DFF3, can I get a round of fireballs for friends? Me, stacking 16-ounce wood glasses in a cooler to frost. Sorry, I don't work here. DFF3, what? Yes you do. Me, nope, but I'm getting free drinks to do dishes. DFF3, I need that gig. Can I at least get a beer? Me, I don't know what tab is what. Gotta wait for Missy. As I jump down to the end to start more glasses. This same exact scenario plays out every couple minutes as people wade in from the back to the front. Over and over. At least 40 times. Finally, the game is about to start and the crowd starts to slowly filter out after an hour. I'm caught up and lean back to take a breath and stare at my shriveled up hands. Missy runs into the back to get some last-minute food order. And there it is. A finger snap. I look over and some young college kid is getting my attention. Drunker and then drunk. Let's call her DB. DB, one more shot before I go. Slurring it badly. Me, I don't work here, sorry. I was just helping with dishes. DB, of course you do. I think she hiccuped. Just get me my shot so I can go, old man, as she slaps down a $5. Me, blinks repeatedly. Nope, this ain't happening. I lean forward from where I was resting, grab a double shot glass and set it in front of her. Grab her liquor of choice and fill it to the brim. As she reaches for it, I pick it up and slam it down in 0.32 milliseconds right in front of her. She is just sitting there staring at me with half rage / half bewildered look. Me, you're drunk and cut off as of this moment. Take your money and kindly leave. I hope you have fun at the game if you remember it. As she was trying to speak, I just pointed to the door. Defeated, she staggered out. I finally got to go back and sit at my seat and relax. I never did tell Missy. Do you know the price of these petunias? My family went to the local supermarket that happens to have a garden center. It was just me, my sister and my mom. Despite some recent issues with my sister, we've started to build our relationship up again, and now are pretty okay. I didn't have to go but went with anyway, as it was not a busy day at the store and I needed to get out of the house. Mom went into the store to buy groceries while my sister and I were let enter the garden center. Sis wanted to get some pretty strong shears because she started to garden, and we have a nasty vine that's trying to take over the garden. We've been fighting it for years and now we're pulling out the big guns. So Sis and I end up arguing civilly about the strength, as she is a small young adult and I'm the larger of the two of us, but without the green thumb, thus I am concerned about her safety. As we're discussing which strength to pick, an elderly lady approaches us and politely asks if either of us knows the price of the petunias she's picked up. My sister doesn't say anything, she was caught off guard, and I blinked before politely asking if she had checked to see if there were any nearby price tags. There were a lot hanging around, but not for every plant. The elderly woman looks at us before her eyes widen and she apologizes. She said that she thought we worked here, and is so sorry that she put us in the spot like that. My sister shrugged it off, and I smiled behind my mask and told the lady that it was okay. She smiled with her eyes, apologized again before leaving us. At that point my sister grabbed the extra strength shears and said she was going to buy them. I finally shrugged and said okay to her, before watching her go to the register. When I looked the other way I saw the elderly man still looking around, and seeing that there was no actual employee around that I would help her. I went over to the petunias and examined around them and the pots, before seeing tags with information and price. Smiling, I went over to the lady, at that respective distance, and politely told her that I knew where she could find the price. I led her back to the petunias and showed her where to find the price tag. She looked at her own and voila! Under a leaf was the tag with the price. She thanked me, very happy, but I told her it wasn't a problem. She then said that, and I quote, that I was the most kind person she has ever met from my generation. It made me blush, and I do wonder if she was thinking of my actual generation or not, but it also saddened me. I was so happy to have helped her, and even helped her pick out her soil for her garden and even bring it to her car because there were no employees around. It felt great to help her, but it upset me that there was literally no one around to help her. If my family hadn't come then, she may have waited hours to get help. So, that's my wholesome I don't work here story. It just upsets me that there weren't any employees there to do their job. BTW, there were no job postings for their garden center. They should have had employees. And when I did see a garden center employee, as denoted by their unique uniform, he was wasting time in the far back area on his phone. I left a complaint at the desk, then went over, asked the guy if he was on duty, got stared at, and he asked me if that mattered. Let's just say I gave him a piece of my mind. Moral of this story: if someone needs help, even for finding the price of something, help them. It's polite. And if you're an employee, do your damn job.